must be.
Hey, John, can I get the mic?
Rod, you see Ross, like, going back to
I'm gonna have it on channel 2 and all.
Yeah, I know. I'll text it to you.
a little better.
Your turn.
Here's the last guy.
It's been a while since I don't even know the last time.
I think there's heavy enough to do. Does anyone have anything else?
Somebody must have. It's a big city.
Did some housing stuff.
Maybe there's a wide range.
But I felt like it might be better in the daycare center. Your kid's going to be around other toddlers or whatever. You're in public school. You have a 4-year-old over there. I want to sleep like hungry.
But I'm hungry. Like,
But I think it's kind of purely based on us.
So this is supposed to start when?
But that fits in.
120. It's 140.
Yeah, it's all wrong. Really nice. Thank you. It's a
So it
snack.
must have been late.
I bet you.
Yeah, this was like,
I'm around by myself.
no, I'm like always hungry.
so because we don't have like 12 months.
So when they did cherries or natural, and she was late to the event, so they took a tour, which I was going to start. So they flipped the tour, so I realized what makes the cherries was for one designated stage.
Why is it so cheap there?
Because they don't have to pay the overhead rent and stuff. There's vendors out on the street that's open. Prices are awesome.
In Chinatown, what's been that one?
Messed up, but
You buy fruit around the canal stop, it's much more expensive than if you go over
Clover
the
wasn't
bridge
exactly
to that area like where they're selling food.
It was dependably 20 minutes
Under the
late.
bridge, you know?
Like by the
But at least
Yeah, by the like
full of it.
under the Manhattan Bridge. Yeah.
Show up.
And it's a very cheap
Did you walk down even just 1 or 2 blocks up to Walgreens for like $10? Places driving outside. Well, if you're going to be 15 minutes late. But yeah, it's 35 minutes. The police couldn't get to the counterfeiters.
Yeah.
So they were ticketing all the legitimate vendors' licenses for everybody to see in the real time.
Right.
And they were harassing them. Girls on the bus go
Oh, it's all snacks.
It's got a whole buffet here. So you're recording the audio, no one can make it. Unless some kid takes it long.
I just have like 7 other stories to read by tomorrow.
Yep.
So,
So do I.
I would put him in your own place.
I got layup.
Pardon my French.
No, longer. No, it was like
Layout, it'll take some
15 minutes.
I was telling Louise.
Lindsay and
I thought it was 50.
much. In fact, one time he was so late, his paper has
Yeah, it's okay.
So it's all time down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I wrote up all the stuff that was totally done, except for this one little thing.
Yeah.
So
Rumor has it.
carved out enough time to meet. When it went away, I had a slot got lunch at.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So I brought my lunch on the bus and ate it on my way here.
Well, you know, maybe I should. I
Man,
expect.
it's hilarious that it's going to take me 3 months to
But I understand. Shot here.
You know, they send out the transcript too.
Yeah.
So we're basically here for pictures. No, so this means we'll be up until like 11 o'clock. Right?
You got any meetings tonight?
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're all the same thing.
It's the saving grace. Yeah. Saving grace is
I'd almost rather be instead of watching eggs.
I'm sorry. You got problems. Step over to my side of the bridge.
When Derek Jeter is walking away, his back turned to the field with a live ball in his glove while he runs around spaces, that was horrendous. David Roberts is giving him 7. The people in the crowd were screaming for him to throw the ball. Even though it was
It's like I said, it's sort of tight. I would be happy to be you know what? They're going to their credit,
You make
like they're doing a reach out.
cut out the first one.
That's why we reached out to Harvard being out with Terry Collins. They had Harvard this year. So to get to 90 wins, the Reds have to go like 67 and 40 the rest of the way or something crazy. Certainly 69 it's not going to be He's not going to does that.
No, actually, but my bar has always been 81. He doesn't think it's been 80. That's good.
Probably talk about it.
This year.
The Mets are a great team. At least with the Yankees weren't expected but a second straight year of being 27 and 26.
Today is about
It's still early on that.
Okay.
Like 41,000. I know, but I mean, did you know that? It's no potatoes. He's gone.
For 20,000 years.
Crazy failed start. They moved him to the bullpen to save his career. Like he had like a 5-year ace starter. Awful. He was live on for 8 years. He's 24, so he's not now. Secretary. But they moved him to reliever last year because he can't start. And save his career.
You know, in public schools, like anything else.
Hold up black.
Vacancies. I like that.
It's like wild.
You might be right. It's like, where's your home?
They sent Montero there, right?
Do you find that the parents
Yeah, they did that with Toys.
First, he never used it.
You send your kid here.
I saw Montero where
Going to school.
struck out 11 and 16. He was really good. I just like it's a little bit.
More of a day
It was awesome. He's Jacob DeGrom. It's a good.
Oh yeah.
And some of the parents are more comfortable with that CBO because you sent your kid there for head start day because
Runners,
same teacher, you're keeping the same environment.
He's got to hit himself. Hit himself to score runs.
Like public schools because it's
It's no, I want that.
it's kindergarten to mix. There's no. I think every family is different. You know, there's
I'm not gonna try.
the public school to get the kid in the groove.
I mean, not to be
Because,
like
like,
childish, but it's funny because it's really fast.
You like move to a neighborhood. It's public site. Like you know public school before you
He gets gravitational pull.
Gravitational. You move to the other one. You walk to the wall.
The guy that gives it
like good
to him,
where
should be designated first time.
There's no way.
But so you don't know about it until you like coffee at the storefront
That guy
store
should
and
be
realize
a
it's big.
billionaire.
So people make
It's all it's never going to be like this.
If he doesn't, it's hard.
So, is there a
He's going to have to leg at him.
Is it all mixed? So there's one.
most of our
Bartolo trying to beat out an infield single.
most parents with a kid
Hey, look, we're not paying him for that. That's
tend to send them to CBECC. But every time
What are the Mets? 4 games under? 5 games under?
No, actually, now one.
1 game under? The Yankees are 2 games better than the Mets.
I guarantee the stats are the same.
Playing
I
the
mean,
Cubs.
we literally are walking through the building.
Cubs go
So we're walking through the building
4, then
before we
they're
give up.
back home. I think they're facing the A's or something.
Faculty that we walk through.
The Yankees are facing the A's right now.
The books they're using.
I don't know how
Giants and the A's. Good luck with
I don't know how to
So-
taste the struggles. That place is
that because they're winning.
Not a matter
no,
of
the team. The team itself. That place is
It's the worst place to chase ball.
It's the worst football stadium. And
2.5%.
They've had talks for years.
they want to have some down the center.
Yeah.
And the Giants can
procurement process is like such that
take over the action.
If you say you're going to Sacramento, reject it for
No, that's a huge miss. So, but my thing is, I don't like the whole Moneyball system, mostly because I think it's so overrated. Moneyball has never won a championship. Moneyball has never been to the World Series. Like the A's are great every year. They find Jen, Sonny Gray, Jesse Chavez this year, Scott Kazmir is having a renaissance season. They never win in the playoffs. They never win. Yeah, that's true. I mean, bringing up David Price to the playoffs really helped. You're right. It just never worked out.
it's 30,000 systems. 33 constituents voluntary inspectors.
Who's else?
The whole ownership argument is, well, we need to sell it.
I hate the salary cap. If the salary cap ever happened in baseball,
No,
so sad.
they killed it. You ever hear that? Ever since.
Yeah. So we get another 8,000 seats. It's going to be a mix of charters. We have a charter system.
And they charter CBOs.
CBS
The Yankees dish out $20 million a year for public service.
first round of CBOs, and then the who are already
The Houston Astros made more money than
in
any
our
team in baseball.
So we're about 15,000
They're finally going to start seeing
and we're sort of moving forward.
so,
And then we have behind them, we have Johnson
the other kid
to announce over the next
Yeah, they just signed us.
But apparently the charter broke and additional CEOs, and we actually did.
I just feel like it's easy. I picked up George Springer for principles a week
We missed
before
the
he
first
came out.
deadline, but came back to us saying
His first 3 weeks, they were demoting against the minors.
put together next year.
Dropped him, and now he's breaking. So,
I thought about doing the same, right?
You want to pick the league? I have a friend of mine.
You've got to have
I'm on a walk.
You gotta worry about
Draft. Jose Berry.
Is there any
Jose Reed's a beast.
there are, I think, CBOs are affiliated with both institutions. Just for Yeshiva.
Everyone figured he would
the actual
he would at least hit homers. I mean, he had that crazy
actual
power.
Yeshiva, actual Catholic school.
When he started late,
Later we did this late May, because we had to go
came back in the other night off the DL.
So we don't have a number.
Nelson Cruz too, coming out of nowhere. And when I was not seeing 15 homers a day. And Chris Young is garbage.
They're identified right now.
Dropped him.
We have another, we have further announcements.
I really did not decide for
It was a 5-game series. They played in
Live, they are-
you apply to a public school, you apply the same way with the right and then you look at everything from are you zoned for it, that kind of stuff.
So Mets have played
And so,
20 extra games this year.
but you basically rank them and then the DO ranks you, and they try to match you. So this will be like the announcements for high school, where a good chunk of people get their first choice, a good chunk of people get second or third. Some people
Take sketches, right? When you get to the podium.
your mom and you live in Bush, I thought you were Flushing, you did apply for a Flushing school, did more communicating for work, you're not zoned for that school.
It's going on a half hour now.
So you may not have the priority to get into a really high demand program that way. And so for that purpose, you're the other students for whom this sort of zone is we use.
How many choices do they get to rent? So you were going to come on Saturday?
Yeah. I mean, for pre-camp purposes,
It gets rich, hold on.
it would be
Self-on.
Not too much.
I
just wanted to let the desk know that the Blasio
Generally, I mean, people don't want to move their 4-year-olds very far.
It's not that I was like starstruck, but I was really nervous. Like going up to talk to him. I was so nervous.
And
He's really nice.
like right.
And after this came, I have to take a picture with you.
That's your student uniform, so that people
Thanks a lot, mate.
Bart Scott told me to kill myself. Jokingly. Because I told him I was a Patriots fan.
yeah, well, I don't know what boxes. Or I mean, we did.
The real one? Yeah, the round people wrapped up. So
I don't know if they get the towards the end. I mean, they get the fall.
Switch to the outframe.
Well, at least we're not taking marks on the court.
Yeah, the same thing as any other box. Generally, all the like after the sort of a lot of times you have a kid who applies to
My office sent me like this question to ask. Only for me. Everyone's like, oh, ask me this.
maybe the parent has it.
That's it there. Money.
Those be it.
So you plan on asking? Maybe.
It is similar to CBO public school. I mentioned this. This is Ross. This is for each one.
I think there's a special.
None of these guys have been legitimate. Wait for it to show up.
Right now, it's
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I know my lead mayor and
It's just funny that
41 minutes late.
Mike is running. That's just
On Tuesday when we have to put the paper together.
he's taking tests like SATs already. Wait a minute. Sit here because the NYC is.
so most of them.
Well, we were going to use this as a test.
Like, of course, if you were to get it, you don't want or like if you are periods have enough time to go to a CBO. These are, we did those.
I don't get it. Somebody has a real
We had a
okay.
Here, and then when you're done, you can take a stand right. Yeah, your podium. Is your podium.
Roundtable was
Can I move the microphone? Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
same thing without the kids.
I'm so tall. I'm so short.
Sorry? Would you like the audio from the wonderful?
You tell me.
Will I use it? I don't know.
Yes. Because I want to address the whole thing. I mean, it just PS 239.
hardcore schlubs. They're set up for this.
Okay, so everyone's in place. All right, you're gonna look. So we're all gonna photograph. So the users all here. So like no one's.
Say hello, Robin. Just say cheese. Oh Lord. I feel like
Okay, can everyone on the side take one step?
Long time no see. No diversity at all. It's strange for this. 2 seconds.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
It's not fair. Still bitter if there was a coming back. Well, I was always short. I was always in the corner. Put up a little bit. I was always up in the corner. I'm talking about the last name with a B.
Everything different. You gotta follow the leader. It's all the old block stuff. You don't have to, like, somebody.
Plaid. Apparently, that's the way to go. Yeah, I feel bad for the last guy.
Ready for a nap?
What? Go for a shot? Yeah.
Yeah. 732.
I'm gonna put myself. Oh, there you go.
Come for me. It's my wife's jeans.
Come on, just put yourself down. 10. Yeah.
Right now, this is all local. He's supposed to go to Virginia, but it's
people at work for tickets to Pippin.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's not bad. Today at all. Yesterday.
Yeah, I bet you.
Well, the only reason I would do that is because I never went anything anyway. So I have something to do
It's hard to pay
tonight
attention to
and tomorrow. So you know absolutely
test of your.
No, sure you are. Then you can be the hero and give it to somebody else.
that's what I'll do.
So you know there's plenty of time to go.
I know people who are in theater with me.
I mean, if I put in for tomorrow night, and if I win, I take my daughter. I won't care. But she loves it. She's 13. She can do anything on Broadway.
Any little bit.
Any piece of it.
Used to give us like free coats and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Coats, umbrellas, bags.
Now you're lucky you can get a sweatshirt once every 5 years.
Like you can gauge. It doesn't bounce all over the place. I worked for a radio station. My first radio station, more than checks would bounce. What a depressing industry. And I'm thinking, is it too late to get out of here?
I never had that, but I had guys at the first radio station I worked at who would work their way up to that radio station. It was it. One paycheck time. They'd all rush down to the because the last guy in. That's what it's about.
Well, I remember we'd get on Friday morning, but he would say, don't put him in the bank or cash him until after 3 o'clock. He's reassured. And I was, 25 years later, I'm still in this stupid business. Not smart enough to switch. 30 now.
Because you meet some of these people. You don't really have to be sharp.
This guy, his family had 4 funeral homes, and they decided to buy a radio station because obviously we couldn't handle the funeral home business. So what did we have to do Sunday morning? We had to read the obits, but only the obits that were run through their funeral homes. I mean, you talk about money.
It's all right.
I mean, it's like a big freaking commercial. It was a 20-minute commercial.
We used to have farm report. I had to do the farm report early in the morning.
I'd read spring reading at 2:10.
Pork bellies. Anyway,
So it's pork bellies.
so yeah, pork bellies. And I remember going. There was a big closet full of books. My grandfather had published books. Sparks Broadcasting. The name was Jacob Sparks. And it was Jacob's Well of Life. Was the title of the book. My favorite page in the book is one in which he was standing in front of a television set that had those doors in front of the.
Yeah.
And on top of it, had a rooster. The rooster had a ribbon. And then I think the Michigan State Fair. And the title on the photograph was Jacob and his prize cock. Which somebody had to write
Oh, yeah.
as a joke.
Some brilliant copyright person.
I know he's so friends with you during charity work together.
Or maybe not. Maybe it wasn't a joke.
Oh, if it wasn't.
Depends on when you're in the farm world. They don't get it.
I had a couple of good laughs.
Weight sounds are not trading for.
We had some crazy bastards. They went after numerous attempts at beating the big downtown station. They decided to call themselves Hillbilly and Crown Elk. And they went with all this hard-ass blueprints. We had to play somewhere in the mix.
This isn't in Detroit, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Bluegrass in Detroit.
You have no idea.
Good Lord.
All around this place. We went to a rebel. Like 20 guys in the bar. Snarl, dare you to come in here and have a
walk because it was a country station. So you had a red car, white car, both with blue hats, right? And we would have to drive them into the local parades on the weekend. We did our duty, went to a lockout line, and then we were just racing these things around town. Quick and had cars. I feel like you didn't get in trouble. That would have been great. Did you mention the police blotter report on that baby?
Are you starting?
I guess so, sir.
You seem to be in the right place.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ramon Suarez Elementary School, most known as PS 239. My name is Maritza Narvaez. I'm a pre-K teacher at PS 239. I have been in this school for 11 years. I've been a pre-K teacher for 4 years at another site, and in between, from first to fifth grade teacher, so I've been quite some time along in the system. It's a great pleasure to talk about the rewarding experience of pre-K. The changes that I see every year through these children, these miniature adults that come to us longing for experiences and us longing to have them as our own. It's wonderful. There's no words to express the challenges, but the rewarding days that we have having these little miniature adults in our classroom. I'm very honored to say this. It was a rewarding experience to have our mayor come into our classroom with our Chancellor Fariña, to be able to share with them the progress of our children, how much a difference makes to have these children come into pre-K, and the engagement, the rapport, the nourishment that they get. And I cannot forget the day that day when the mayor was sharing with us the very hungry caterpillar, and one of our little ones wanted to share something with him. So he gave him a chance to say something because he raised his hand, as always. And the mayor gave him a chance to talk, and he went, "Oh, by the way, metamorphosis are the changes where a caterpillar transforms from a little caterpillar into a chrysalis, and then it changed into a butterfly." So it was quite shocking to me, because sometimes you take for granted that a child might not be listening to you, that may be too busy playing around, and you say, "Well, Johnny, pay attention," and the child look at you and say, "Yes, here I am." And when they give you that kind of answer, when they really throw back to you on your face that, "Hey, here I am, I swallow it, I internalize it, I understand what you're talking about," and it's quite such a pleasure. I mean, there's no way I can tell you that day. It was an enormous honor to have him here. And that's exactly what happened in pre-K classroom. You take them as a tiny little caterpillar, and I don't know if you have seen videos about caterpillar really developing. We had the experience to see them really on our video on the computer, and when they come out of that little egg, they start chewing real fast. They eat everything and anything, I mean, in a very fast process, because they need to be fed. And as they slow down that pace because they have had enough, they began the beautiful transformation into that chrysalis that magically will open up into a beautiful butterfly. And that's exactly what we call our little miniature adults. They are our caterpillars at the beginning of the year, and by the end of this time, we tell them proudly, "I'm so glad that you were able to open that chrysalis, and now you're expanding your wings, and you're ready to fly to kindergarten." We're thankful to have our mayor backing up this important program, that he recognizes the importance of how much pre-K can transform the life of these little children. And I'm not going to take away our time, our guest speaker, and it's quite an honor to introduce our Honorable Mayor of New York City, Mayor de Blasio.
I want you to stay there for a moment, because I want you to say that part about why pre-K is important and what it means in español.
¿En español?
See?
Okay. You think I can do that?
You can do it.
Okay. Muchas gracias. Nuestro alcalde de Blasio me ha pedido que le diga a ustedes en mi idioma natal por qué es tan importante el tener el jardín infantil, el pre-kinder en nuestras escuelas. Mi experiencia como maestra tantos años con estos pequeñines ha sido grandiosa. No tengo palabras para decirle lo hermoso que es ver llegar a estos pequeñines a nuestro salón, verlos crecer, alimentarse día a día con canciones, con juegos, con literatura, con libros y entre ellos mismos aprender el uno del otro. El interlace cultural es inexplicable cómo estos niños, aún teniendo diferentes idiomas, pueden comunicarse de una manera tan maravillosa. Se entienden, se aman, se comunican, se ayudan y es un crecimiento total, no solamente físico, pero también emocionalmente, espiritualmente. Estos niños crecen como una familia, nos convertimos en mamás, en papás, en abuelas, porque a veces nos dicen abuela o tía o mamá, porque piensan que somos sus mamás, es el reflejo de lo que tienen en la casa. Y a nosotros no nos molesta, a mí no me molesta que me digan mami o que me digan tía, porque entiendo que es un enlace más familiar, es un ambiente donde estos niños verdaderamente se desarrollan, se hacen independientes y su estima se pone por las nubes. Estos niños aprenden a desarrollar destrezas, se saben vestir solos, saben comer solos, se expresan de una manera maravillosa, disfrutan de la lectura, disfrutan de la música, disfrutan del recreamiento en las afueras, en el patio. Y gracias también al apoyo de nuestra administración, nuestra principal, que siempre está con nosotros y que siempre nos apoya en todo, pues es un mundo maravilloso aquí en la Escuela 239. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you, Mayor.
I have to tell you that, Maritza, what you said in English was very moving, very powerful, very beautiful, even more beautiful in Spanish.
Thank you.
So you did both wonderfully. I want to thank Maritza for the extraordinary work she does with our young people. And I've seen it with my own eyes. It's magical. I want to thank the great principal of PS 239Q, Robin Connolly, for your leadership. All of the parents, the teachers who are here today, the administrators, everyone who makes this school work, everyone who's helping to get the word out on what we're trying to do with early childhood education in the city, and of course, Deputy Mayor Richard Bury, who's leading the effort and doing a great job. I love this school. I loved it when I visited last time. I love it this time. Something very special is happening here. And you can understand why parents want their children in this school. It is that amazing, nurturing community, that sense of family. And the dedication of the professionals you see here is extraordinary. We had a great roundtable discussion with them. And I really think it's important for New Yorkers to appreciate the caliber of the people who choose to teach in our schools, because you can see the intensity, the focus, the passion they have for their work. And I want to thank all of you for what you do. And we talked about, with all the people assembled here, and we had some of the bloggers who focus on parents, and I appreciate deeply the work you do. We talked about helping parents get ready for this crucial moment this week, and it's a moment that I've experienced, Charlene's experienced with Chiara and Dante, when you wait for that letter to come to tell you whether a child gets into their local zone school pre-K. And for a lot of families around this city, this week will be joyous because they will get that letter getting their first choice. For some other parents, they won't get their first choice. And what we want to make sure is they understand they have options that are available right now. We want to urge all parents to apply immediately to the almost 25,000 seats, full-day pre-K seats that exist in our community-based organizations. The early childhood efforts in these community-based organizations will be held to the exact same high standard in terms of teaching, curriculum, physical plant, all of the things that matter to parents. Some of you have been along with us when we went to that wonderful community-based center in Riverdale, the one we went to in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, the one we went to in Queens Village. Fantastic, energetic, high-quality locations. And that's the norm that you're going to see with our pre-K efforts throughout the city, including in the community-based organizations. But parents have to apply. The important thing, and I saw the parent bloggers lit up at this point, is that parents can apply to as many locations as they want to. In their neighborhood, in other neighborhoods, near their workplaces. There's no limit on how many sites you can apply to. But the important thing is to apply and apply now. We particularly want all parents to get their applications in before school ends on June 26th. And we know that's going to maximize our chance of getting parents the match that they are looking for. The important thing is to demystify the process, make it simple. So we're saying to parents, apply now. If they need information, they get it from 311. They can get it from schools.nyc.gov and apply online, apply in person at a pre-K center, or mail in their application to the Tweed Courthouse building, and we will make sure that all applications get to all appropriate centers. And then parents will start to get those updates on what options are available to them in those other locations as well. So we're working hard in the month of June to get the word out, and we're making sure that everyone who's a part of our school system is spreading the word. We're relying on principals, teachers, school parent coordinators to get the word out and help our parents navigate and get the best options for their kids. With that, we welcome your questions on any topic. Yes.
There have been questions asked by members of the community about NYCHA funds, and if the money had been available to put cameras in buildings there, why it takes so long to do so. Are you satisfied with the urgency to make things secure on the part of NYCHA?
No, I have not been satisfied in the past, especially in the previous administration. I'm not satisfied, in fact, in my administration either, that the urgency has been sufficient. We've given very clear orders in the last 24 hours to speed that process intensely. We know there was a bad history here. Local council members did the right thing. They applied money for cameras in NYCHA developments, assuming it would be open and shut, that those cameras would be put in place. For years, up until this last December, NYCHA was not doing that. They were sitting on the money for a variety of reasons. I think it was a bad strategic decision by NYCHA to not simply put those cameras in place immediately. I understand cameras are not a panacea, but they're part of the process of fighting crime and certainly one of the great tools we have to identify if there are criminal elements around. So the history was not good before, but I think as well, and I've said this very clearly to senior members of my administration, we needed to move more quickly as well. We want those cameras in place, and I've given the order that for all the money that is in the pipeline from the City Council previously, that's not about this year's budget that's about to happen in the next few weeks, but the previous dollar figure was about $27 million that has still not been implemented. I've ordered all of that to be implemented this year, this calendar year, so that all those cameras must be in place by the end of 2014 throughout the system. The information I have is that that would reach about 49 developments, and it would be actually in some cases more than just cameras, because it's a larger part of a larger security package that would include fixing doors and putting in more solid steel doors and hardening doorways and other things, improving intercom systems, a series of other steps to increase security in the developments.
I mean, I know you're not satisfied, but what happened? I mean, why did it take so long? I mean, March, they said, put the cameras in the lobby, and then, it took like 2 months for NYCHA to move, and then OMB also said, I mean, do you know why?
I think unacceptable bureaucracy is as simple as that. I think we had a bad history that this administration should have immediately addressed, and we didn't address it quickly enough. I think the fact is that there are some things when you make a transition from one administration to another where things are moving smoothly and you continue something as it is. There's other things where you have to know that the previous dynamic was unacceptable and change them. And the previous dynamic was unacceptable and we didn't change it quickly enough. And we've now, I think everyone up and down the food chain knows that that's unacceptable to me. The buck stops with me. And I've ordered all these cameras put in place this year.
Is there an issue with the
particular contractor, for one, and in terms of procurement, what's your understanding of how much of the equipment has actually been procured and it is sitting in a warehouse?
As you know, the council acted in different years and put in different money for different developments, so I don't think it's one simple answer. We can try and get you some sense of the specifics with each one. I actually think in most cases it was not that the cameras were waiting to be put in physically. That was that we were still earlier than that in the process. But what I have been assured by everyone involved is by cutting a number of the red tape steps in the process, they can get these in place this year.
Said that the power sharing coalition in Albany isn't working between the IDC and the Republican Party, but Jeff Klein was an ally of yours, especially on the pre-K fight. I mean, what do you expect? What do you say to Jeff Klein that the agreement's not working when he kind of fought for you on the pre-K?
Well, that was one issue, and I'm very happy he did, and I've praised him for his efforts. But we are talking about a whole host of issues that are crucial to the people of New York City. Minimum wage, public financing, women's right to choose. There's a whole host of issues. Obviously, the DREAM Act, funding for public education. There's a whole host of issues that are defined by the state Senate. The whole history around rent regulation is another very, very important example. And these issues like rent regulation, mayoral control of education are coming up again. And this current Senate leadership has not been, in general, sympathetic to New York City, and it's time for a change.
Rejoin the Democratic conference?
Absolutely.
Today, the teachers are voting on their contract, and they're expected to have that later today. If it's ratified, can you just give your thoughts on the contract, and if the vote, and then the second part, just for the teachers who weren't necessarily supporting it, just what you would say to them now if it is ratified, as they're going to have to implement the contract?
Obviously, I'm awaiting the results. I'm hopeful, but I'm awaiting the results. I believe this is a watershed moment for our school system, and I think it's a historic moment because, first of all, and I'm thrilled to be saying this in the company of really fantastic, devoted teachers, this contract recognizes that our teachers are the key to our future success. That was not the governing philosophy for a number of years in this city, and it was part of what was holding us back, that we didn't understand and respect the role of teachers. This contract focuses on treating teachers like professionals, giving them stability and security, focusing intensely on teacher training. If you look around the world at the countries that are most successful at public education, there's a massive focus on constant teacher training. There's a focus on what they have in the contract, creating master teachers and other senior teacher designations where we reward achievement and the ability to coach and support other teachers and improve them. There's a lot more flexibility in the contract for up to 200 schools to come up with their own ground rules for how they're going to run the school in a way that can be most effective, where the teachers are part of the decision-making process. And we've seen this also around the country, around the world, where teachers are given more opportunity to help determine what will work. They are often the first ones to say they want to put more in to get a better outcome for their kids, and they want more flexibility to do it the way that they think will be most effective because it's their craft. Certainly the focus on strategic communication between parents and teachers is absolutely crucial. Another huge missing link in the previous approach, where parents were considered bystanders as opposed to strategic partners. This contract bakes in the notion there's going to be constant dialogue between teachers and parents. Teachers able to tell parents, here's what I need you to do to help me reinforce the lessons. Make sure your child is doing the homework. Read with your child over the weekend, whatever it might be. This is going to be transformative. I'm convinced. Hello.
May I please ask your thoughts into the investigation into former DA Charles Hines for his alleged use of seized assets on political consultants?
Look, first of all, it's an investigation, and we shouldn't prejudge. The charges are very serious that have been raised. There will be a full investigation by DOI, and then, as I understand it, DOI will make referrals to other agencies for any follow-up. But certainly what has been reported is very troubling.
It's on topic.
Okay, we're here, and then you. Wait, first here.
Regarding the massive Willets Point redevelopment project, I know it's arguably the biggest issue in that section of Queens. Community boards all around the area, it's the biggest issue that they focus on. There have been many lawsuits, many voices against it. I was wondering if, I know it wasn't necessarily in your housing plan also, if you had an official stance on kind of the fight back and forth up there.
I voted for the original plan almost a decade ago, and I think that over time we haven't gotten all of that we expected to get, and I certainly am going to make sure we look again at Willits to see if we can get, in particular, more affordable housing.
How are you ensuring that the community-based childhood centers have the same kind of high-quality standards of the public schools? And have you found that to be the case, that they are in fact as a higher standard?
Yes. I mean, my experience, remember, I was a community school board member. I was on the education committee in the city council for 8 years. I mean, this has been a big focal point of my work. All my own personal experience and everything I've ever seen is, yes, by definition, a lot of these community-based centers were operating on the same quality standards, but we've added more. We've added the Common Core curriculum. No program participates in our pre-K effort unless they're working with a Common Core curriculum, unless they have teachers who have a certain level of experience and capacity. There's constant quality control. And I want to just read off some of these numbers because I think it's quite important here. In terms of both the quality of the educational effort and the physical plant, the safety, the health, et cetera. We had originally 150 staff of the Department of Education charged with inspecting the sites constantly and keeping quality control. That number has been increased to 250 individuals focused on quality control in the pre-K sites. We have overall 80 Department of Health inspectors. We're adding 12 more with a particular focus on the pre-K sites. The FDNY has added a dedicated unit of 20 inspectors in terms of safety and health. Department of Building has gone from 8 inspectors to 13 that will focus on this. Department of Design and Construction from 0 to 15. There is a massive effort underway to guarantee the quality levels of each and every site. A site that doesn't meet our quality levels will not be allowed to proceed in the process. And as you remember, one of the first press conferences we had about this when I was first in office, we had tried to achieve a certain number of seats around the city. We put out requests for proposals. We ended up with about 8,000 more seats available than we needed. We've gotten a lot more proposals since then. So the good news is we get to choose, and we're only going to choose sites that meet very high quality standards, such as the ones that we have visited with a number of you. But if they don't meet those standards, they don't get in.
Mr. Mayor, can you tell us what emotions are going through you as you pack up to go to Gracie Mansion? And also, the Rangers are going to be in the Stanley Cup tomorrow. We just thought we'd like to get a. Are you going to have a bet on, or are you a Rangers fan? Become one.
I've exchanged very bellicose emails with Mayor Garcetti, and I think it's good that a truly professional hockey team will be playing the team from Los Angeles, and that I predict tremendous success for the Rangers. Coming from the East Coast as I do, I have a special respect for the teams that were original and early in the NHL experience, and the Rangers certainly have an incredibly rich history. So the Rangers are going to win this. That's a prediction. You can take that to the bank. Mayor Garcetti and I are working out the elaborate terms of a bet, but it's a bet he will have to honor, and I'm going to win. As for our family, Charlene said some things publicly about getting ready. We're just originally sending a few very precious items to Gracie Mansion to begin the process. And, what we have always wanted is to create a real home there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place with a rich history. In some ways feels like a museum. We want to really make it a home. So some of the sentimental belongings, some of the things that mean the most to us, we're going to start to put over there and start the process of making it a home. It's going to take a little while, but, it's, look, this is the home I live in Brooklyn. I've been there 14 years. For Charlene and I both, it's the longest we've ever lived in any one place. It's the place that our children grew up. The vast majority of their youth was spent in this home. It's a very emotional moment for us, but we know that Gracie will be an extraordinary experience for our family, and particularly for our kids, and so we're getting ready to take the plunge. Thanks, everyone.